Hello, 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 and welcome back to the D.O.C podcast show, the show that is rated R for real and not PG for playing games. I am one of your hosts, the boss lady.
And I am the D.O.C.
Join us for our weekly conversations about life, culture, and everything else. We would love for y'all to get to know us and get to love us. Now, let's pause for a second to give shout out to sponsors because this episode of our show is sponsored by Cigar Junkies and CJS Educational Services. So we just want to make sure you go out there and get your merch, cigarjunkies.com. Before we do anything else, we are going to pause to ask two questions, and that is, how you been doing and what have you been doing?
Well, it was a really great past couple weeks.
Okay.
It ended on a crazy note. I guess I was having so much fun, but let's start with the fun. I went to a couple bomb-ass parties, one in particular phone party that was pretty dope. Had the real foam
Like
out there, a pool party.
Yeah.
Phone party. It was real cool vibe, cool people. Weather was perfect. Food, liquor, it was whatever. BYOB, BYOW, cigars, beautiful women. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And it went all night. And then we had the family affair picnic reunion. And that's all of the Sanders family, the Carson and Hawkins family, the Fields family, all of those three families came together, and this is the second annual. And this year was bomb. We had shit well over 150 people easily. About what 100, 120 people or so, give or take.
Like
yeah, it was quite a few people that we had when you only plan for maybe 50, 60 people. So it more than exceeded our expectations. But what was really good was how people came together to make it happen. Shout out to everybody that came to make it happen. Yep. Shout out to the folks that sponsored the Bouncy House, D. Brown, Teresa Green, myself sponsored the Bouncy Houses. The setup crew, Mr. Stephanie Gree, you, Shakonda, Jaleel.
Right.
Those people came in and and helped set that whole thing up. And then all the cleanup crew, people that helped clean up, and people that bought stuff. Just about everybody bought something. It was a really great time. So that was real good.
Yes.
Anytime you can get to bring people together to celebrate them and celebrate life is a good thing. It ain't no bullshit. And we did it right in Gary at the beach.
Right.
That was the other thing. I'm very intentional about where I do things at. And it was no bullshit. It was just a beautiful time.
Beautiful day.
So
there was a lot of family reunions going on.
And apparently while doing it, I had known, but I had fucked up my leg.
Well,
my Achilles tendon.
Yeah,
I fucked it up beforehand. I think at the pool party, but who knows? But no, it was after the pool. It was before the pool party, actually. But no, man, got fucked up with my leg. But, a pimp ain't never down. So what I'm saying, I'm going to get back on up and do what I got to do. But, yeah, I'm in rehab and getting that together and getting back strong and healthier with my Achilles. So, if anybody of y'all got any rehab strategies or anything like that about Achilles injuries, hit me up and put them in the comment section. Appreciate you folks. But other than that, it was still a good weekend all around. How about you?
Pretty much ditto. I never can come behind and follow up behind those type of explanations. I generally have fun. I think the highlight, I enjoyed the phone party. Just because the kid in me enjoys that type of stuff. What's going on?
What's the issue?
The kid in me likes that type of stuff, so that was really, really fun. Family picnic, of course, just always good. At least for me, I never get to do or attend my family picnics or anything like that. Generally, when they're having them, there's usually a weekend that I can't make it, so I rarely really get to go to a tenor reunion or anything to that extent. They have them, but I just rarely get to go to them. So it's always fun. It is always
you
fun.
went to one this past December?
I mean, that was my grandma's birthday. I don't really
like a reunion.
In a sense that you
because everybody was there.
That is true. I guess in a sense we have our own little impromptu reunions, different holidays. Some people just happen to go. to grandma's house and things like that. But it was just always a fun time. Yeah, it was a little high, but people kept it going. Even with the heat, we still had fun. So,
oh yeah, it was a good time, and the beach is right there, so a lot of the kiddos got to hang out at the beach,
got to
bounce
go
out.
swimming.
It was really more so for the younger generation to know who the older generation is, particularly people like myself and now my parents' generation. So he had like about 4 generations represented, and it was other people that came, like the Hines family came. Those folks came and represented big time. The Booker family came and represented big time. So it was a lot of different families that we affiliated with that came and attended and participated in. So we appreciate all the love from everybody.
Yeah, and the one thing I would like to point out is one thing, especially with sometimes the viewpoints of some people with black people getting together, that there's always going to be some that go down. There was so many different family gatherings that went on the whole beach, and you didn't hear not one thing. All the goddamn police sirens were because the fucking police was harassing people about parking. Which is just a shame that they wouldn't allow people to just park and enjoy.
Yeah, they ran out of parking.
Like, they literally ran out of parking, so people were parking along, you know, the lines of the beach. And honestly, it wasn't a problem, but Gary police is just, that's a whole nother topic. We have to do that on another show.
That's what you call bitch assness.
Yes. But anyway, so that's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, but I'm devastated that you got your injury and all that, and I know it's not gonna be long. He's gonna be back, so we're gonna keep that.
Yeah, because I got shit to do.
Yeah. First thing he said was, "Oh, I got trips planned."
I got trips planned.
That was what he was more concerned with.
Got events, concerts coming up. Trips planned.
Yes, he's mad because he can't get back in the pool for a while. So that's what he's more hurt about. So, ladies, send him titty pics or something. Make him feel better. Do something, guys.
I take all the titty pics.
Send bottles,
cigars or
sticks.
bottles.
Yeah, send flowers.
I prefer bourbon or
send flowers. Y'all know what type of flowers we're talking about.
No doubt.
But anyway, so we're going to jump into this 3-course meal. And I just thought for the appetizer, it was a topic that I have been wanting to talk about because I really want to get D.O.C's opinion about this. And it's because something I've been seeing a lot. And that's the topic of funerals. So I know you think of funerals, you think of something that's like, I hate funerals, things of that nature. But no, I got a few questions that I need to get some clarity to about funerals, specifically in the black community. And so the first thing I got, why do you think people use social media and other people's tragedies to gain that personal attention? What is it about that you think that just people just gotta?
Well, I think at the end of the day, part of social media is people have become attention whores. And so they do things to garner attention, and generally things that get the highest level of attention are either things that have happened to you, where people want to express sympathy, or something related to a kid. Those things generally get lots of lots of reaction. And so in this sense, they take a tragedy and somehow they make it their own. They're connected to it somehow, some way. They give sometimes when they post this shit, they don't even know the fucking person. They give vague ass information. They don't even know how the person passed away, and they give all this stuff. And so they use it to garner attention as if they had this relationship with people and they may have, who knows? But it's just really weird that I've seen a lot of that. And the first thing that people do is, I used to always think that was really weird, was that people are now posting the private text message exchange between them and that individual. And they show that, like, I just talked to him. Well, you could have told us that without showing the damn screenshot of the text message.
So would that be the same as a person going to the funeral and then taking pictures of the obituary and posting them? No. Is that not the same thing?
No. I think that's, a reason, because I do that. I think the reason why I do that is because there are people, and I've seen now, I don't know what's going on, maybe printing costs are getting so high, but they get real cheap and scarce with obituary.
That is true. I done been to a couple of funerals. I ain't even got obituary.
I've been to a lot of funerals.
That is true.
I've been in a funeral where I helped provide some of the assistance and barely got a damn obituary. So I know how that goes. So I do it because I know there are people out of town on these social media sites who cannot attend, and they want to see the obituary. So I usually take a picture from front and back of the obituary. I make no comments, and I take a picture and I share it so people that may have known these individuals can then see the obituary and read it themselves and grieve that way. You know, that's what my contribution is. But I have an issue with people that take pictures of a dead body and post it. I think you shouldn't be doing that. I've actually, if you do that, and I don't see that because the people that have done that, I've unfriended them. I didn't go and badmouth them. You can do what you want to do on your page, but that's not what I want to see. Casually scrolling down as pictures of dead people.
I didn't even look at the real still pictures of my mom and her casket. Like, I don't even like. It's just some stuff you just don't.
So generally, if you promote just like straight stuff like that, things against just outright violence against people, just I unfriend you. I don't argue with you. I just unfriend you.
What about messiness at funerals? Like, why do specifically like black funerals? Why do they get so messy?
Well,
why does everything associated?
This is gonna go back to my conversations about baby mamas and baby daddy.
That shit gets messy.
You discovered that daddy and mama and them and all these other women were intertwined in an informal polyamorous relationship.
And don't even know they poly.
Well, they don't know they poly, but they are poly. And then all this converges all in this one venue. And none of these people really have never been in one venue sometimes together. And so not only these people, but then you have their families together with all of the extra shit, and then don't throw in some money.
Oh yeah, it really.
Or the nigga had some sort of street status or something like that. So that shit's always nuts. And then black funerals in general are always fucking nuts. Yeah. I haven't seen one that wasn't nuts. I mean, at my funeral,
your funeral.
Did
you just say my funeral?
At my funeral. Knock on wood. I'm thinking about my auntie Big Mama's funeral. And at her funeral, I distinctly remember there were parts of the family who wouldn't come over because my cousin, we were real close to my auntie Big Mama. And so we had like a informal repass after the repass at my house to accommodate people. And it was people who didn't come because they said we were associated with gang members and all types of weird shit. And so they didn't come. So they had their own separate thing, we found out. And, that shit came to bite them in the ass in the long run. And so those things, you shouldn't. So you always see weird things at funerals with black people. I've yet to see nothing that wasn't weird. So that's just the nature of it.
So
even at white funerals, it'd be bullshit.
Now let's talk about this quickly because I think this be the real controversy over the funeral. I don't even think it'd be the funeral. I do think the obituary is something that is a topic that will start a fucking fight at a funeral. Not put the right person in the obituary or exclude a person in the obituary. That's like starting World War fucking III in some families.
I know some places right now that are still warm because of a misspelled name.
Yes. They put the wrong title.
They put the wrong spouse.
They put girlfriend instead of
they
special lover. Kids. Oh yeah, kids we don't nobody know about, but somehow they still messy.
I ain't gonna lie. I've done a couple of bits, and I don't understand how people do that. I feel that it's done on purpose. Because I've done it, so I don't know how you would miss some things are obvious.
Yeah,
and I've seen it, and it's unfortunate. But that obituary shit
can start
that starts it.
So the next thing that can start a war, repass. So this So I got just a couple questions about the repass. Is it required? Do you really have to feed everybody? And do you really need all the huge props and stuff at a repass?
All right. So with me, let's start with the repass. I think social media has just changed everything in general. From prom send-offs to repasses to anything. They got gender reveals, baby showers, things that were real pretty casual events that you could have in your backyard. They're extravagant events now. They are. And so that's what's happened with repasses. Yeah. People spend more money on the repass than the actual funeral.
Or just as much.
And it's kind of, in a way, when you think about it, it could be a funeral, maybe an hour and a half tops. The repass can go on for 4+ hours, however long you want, depending on where you at. And so, me personally, some people, because, especially if you're in a situation where a person does not have adequate or inadequate or no insurance. So putting on a repass in a funeral can get difficult for some people. And I've seen situations where, me personally, I've never understood why it's the responsibility of the grieving family to pay and put on a repass for a bunch of motherfuckers that ain't come, probably didn't even like the person. I think
that was the point.
Huh?
I would love to know that the history behind repass.
You can Google it
I'm
real
going,
quick.
while you talking, I'm going to do that. Because I don't think that was the benefit.
And so my thing is that the grieving family is grieving. So now do they not only have to go through the unexpected or expenses of burying their loved ones, now they got to plan this party. And people expect you to feed them, provide drink for them, entertainment. Now they got DJs, they got all these extravagant decorations. It's just crazy now what they do with the repass, right? And so for me, I think it's just a complete waste of money, and it's a waste of the family's time. Now, if somebody from part of the family, extended family, that's not a part of the immediate grieving, but the extended family or friends or church, if they want to host it and do it, I see no issue with it. But I don't think that family should have the added burden of that.
So, according to Google, repass is,
you know what it is.
The family of the deceased is usually responsible for hosting the family repass, also known as the wake. The repass is a tradition, obviously, that brings them together. But according to them, it's the family of the deceased. Family of the deceased.
The family of the deceased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Should be the person right
That's why I said the extended family. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
But see, I'm going to say, like, down south, it'd be like the community. It'd be the friends of the person at church. It'd be that church family that do stuff like that.
What you got to say about that?
This is my thing with that. I feel like sometimes people put too much attention to the repass than they do the more important details. And I feel like sometimes that's when all the BS starts. That's when things get really expensive, I think. Because people want to be very lavish. And I totally get it, but when you think about some things, it's like, would you spend all that money on that type of stuff, or would you put that money into trust for the kids, or could there be better ways to spend the money? And I'm giving this disclaimer. I am nobody to tell somebody how to grieve or how to spend or what to do for a person who has passed away. I just say I think it's
but nowadays, it's a lot of finesse and hustling going on.
Yeah, it's more emphasis put on the repass.
The same shit that was $100 now is $2 because they know you want it and you gonna pay it. Yeah. And then the other thing too that puts these people under pressure. Generally, these people got to pull this all off within 5 to 7 days, business days.
Depending on how things go.
Plus, on top of grieving,
it's a lot of stress.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
That's usually why the repass, you will see the person who's connected with the dead person, the deceased person. That's why you usually see them so stressed, because people always be like, man, that person was so mean or so this at the repass, and you're like, yeah, because they had to leave the funeral early, they had to leave this early because they had to go get.
And you know what people ask them? They ask a nigga stupid shit like, so what y'all had serving at the repass? Motherfucker, what the fuck is you talking about? Niggas that ask you stupid ass questions like that.
Where y'all getting the chicken from?
Where y'all getting the chicken from?
I done heard that question being asked.
Because I don't eat sharks.
And I done seen a nigga get snapped on.
Man, like, just stupid shit.
Just, like, and the thing is, when did you set this expectation that when you go to a repass, you're supposed to get like a 3-course meal? I have literally seen people critique the repass at the repass. Like, this all they got? I didn't be, comparing what type of food you're supposed to have. Like, they supposed to have a salad, a meal,
like
and
a
then cake and
meal.
stuff. And it's like, that's not what that's about.
Yeah.
Even when you look, really, the food's supposed to be light food. Just like really tea and crumpets and shit like that. That's really what it's supposed to be about. But anyway, so I'm thank you for dialogue, because that is something that I just really wanted to get off my chest with that. Which is, you see that a lot. So jumping into our entree. And for today's show, we saying fuck the rules, fuck how we don't normally do things. We just got a few things we just want to just talk about. That's just shit that just like be like, what? Why? What? So we just gonna jump right into it. The first thing is just going back to what the D.O.C. talked about with his family reunion. It's all good and things like that, but quickly, you gotta shed light on the not so great about family reunions when it comes to organization and organizing and shit. Like, why is it just so hard for families to do that? Why is that such a
You know
a
what
thing?
it is? Well, it starts with leadership. Part of it is in certain families you may have identified leadership.
Yeah.
But even if you have identified leadership, they then have to either pair up or get with somebody that's good with organization and project management. Because the person that's good with project management may not be the best leader.
That's true. That's true.
Or you may get blessed and you may get a person that has both.
True.
And so in our situation, we were blessed where we had a person that has both. Okay. And so because of that, the person has respect. And so they're able to get different factions. Because especially if you have a large black family, we talking about black. In any family, you're going to have your factions. You're going to have your hood niggas, your conservative Republican niggas, your niggas who are indifferent. You got to appeal to the kids, the old folks, the young folks, the babies. Yeah. I'm more concerned about the babies and the old folks more so than I hate to say it, but that's really who you really concerned, making sure they have a good time. And the other thing is, what I learned is you can't do it by yourself. This year, that's why I shouted out a lot of people. I put together a team, and so I'm going to put together a permanent team to go forward and get input and let people use their specialty skills. And we have a lot of people that got a lot of skills and leadership, and so they're going to chip in and make it an even better event than it was this year. So those are things that can make it bad are niggas being petty. So you have to leave petty differences to the side for at least 4 to 5 hours. That's all that we ask. The other thing is money. Money, because depending on the money situation determines what type of event you have. And so you want to, like I said, this year we did a little extra things that we did different last year. And so next year we're going to get this stuff. So that's going to require more money. And so we're going to devise a way to make it feasible and economical and equitable for all parties involved so they can, still have high levels of participation. And then hopefully now start to get people to travel from out of town to the event.
So that's what makes it hard to organize it?
What's that?
All that you just said.
Oh, the hard to organize is that you're just dealing with black people.
That's what I'm talking about.
The only thing, the best thing I would tell people to pull off an event like this, and I think the reason why we were so successful is that we let people know almost 10 months in advance that we were doing it. So,
I think it's one simple reason why family reunions are hard to organize. Pride and egos.
Oh, yeah.
Outside the money, before you even get to the money,
I would add
before you even get to the money, it's pride and ego.
No, but I think it's deeper than that. I think people have past differences that they unresolved.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's unresolved family issues.
But that's not based on pride and ego, though.
I do think you have some people, because what I mean by pride and ego within the family to organize.
Niggas don't like each other.
Well, that too. But what I mean by pride and ego is some people, like, their pride won't allow them to
take direction from
another person, because they like, they already think they all that to begin with. Mm-hmm, so I'm not gonna follow their lead. When all she doing is asking you, can you make some sandwiches for the goddamn thing? And you saying, fuck you, because I don't like you, because you think you all
but
that.
If this person that asked you, it wouldn't have been no problem.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That part with family reunions.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next topic. So this past weekend here, and I'm only using Gary as an example, but this past weekend in Gary, there were a class reunion. And one of the things that I noticed, because I'm not a native of Gary, so let me throw that disclaimer out. So I'm not a native of Gary, so I'm not a native of the high school, but what I've noticed since I've lived here is that every year there are 3 to 4 weekends out the year that just gets bananas around here with different class reunions. And so you are a native here. Mm-hmm. So why are these weekends / events, why do they be like the most popular things in Gary? Please explain this phenomenon of class reunions.
Well, I think I went to West Side, so best school.
What year?
Best school in Gary, class of '93.
Okay.
So 31 years.
So for those who are not from Gary, is West Side a good school, bad school?
It's a good school. It had the gifted and talented. All of the leaders came out of West Side.
Okay.
So that's that. I can't speak on the other school. Roosevelt think they're the shit, but Roosevelt ain't shit. They were just good at athletics, but they fell off on that too.
Okay, what about this other school right here, about the work school?
Work and shit. They just had the pretty girls. They girls look like they taste like Starburst. Pink Starburst. Pink Starburst.
Did he just say that work girls look like they taste like pink?
Lou Wallace wasn't nothing but a school filled with nothing but killers and serial killers. Literally, three serial killers graduated from Lou Wallace. You had the shotgun killer. I think his name was Chris. You had the lady, the girl, Paula Cooper.
Wow.
They stabbed that white lady and some other niggas did some, like, they had straight serial killer coming out of motherfucking Lou Wallace. They wild out there in the park, man. But anyway, they had, I think what it is because, for one, all of the schools in Gary have closed down. Okay. So I think that's part of it. They only have one school open, Westside. So Westside is now the only high school open in Gary. So I think that's part of it, is just the nostalgia around bringing those people back, because there's no other way to create that community. Before, generally during the year, you have basketball, which is huge in the area, and football. Okay. And so nothing brings those people together except for these reunions and what have you. And generally,
so I must say, a bunch of old people trying to get back in the mix. And
well, this is the thing. This is the reason why I think it's gotten so big, is because now they've made it like these all-class reunions or what have you. And so when you do that, you got people that are maybe like from 40, or sometimes even 50, but at least 40, because that takes you to the 80s. So like tell you like the 83. So 40s all the way back to the 10, maybe even the 5-year. And so now all those people, is too many events, and you can't cater to one specific crowd. So they have several different events. And so that's the reason why I think this year it was just oversaturation of people, and then they were able to converge on a couple single events, and they shut it down. They shut down certain places, like they shut down the beach. They shut down 45th and Broadway, and it was good peaceful. When I say shut it down, there was not one incident of violence
I didn't hear about
that I heard about or anything. Not one. Like, and we're talking about thousands of people, thousands. And I think that because of that, they set a precedent. And other schools now want to emulate that. So you're going to see that. So I think it's a good thing. And I'm sure the small business owners love it. From T-shirt sales.
Don't do nothing else but go to reunions.
But that's it. That's all there's around here. You got to remember, Gary is not a large metropolitan city like Chicago. It's not like that. Where Chicago has 150 plus
now, high granted, they do be like that hype, because like even at High Park, we have an all-class reunion every year, and it fills up usually the midway. Place in High Park, and you don't win with me.
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Niggas doing the same shit.
It's the same thing. It is the same thing.
But Gary's a little bit.
But I think Gary's a little bit.
No, because y'all's is generally one day. This shit starts like on the Thursday with concerts and shit, and goes all the way to Sunday.
I think maybe that's what it is. Okay, well, thank you for giving me that explanation, because then that kind of lets me know, like, okay, this is a thing. So just move out the way, give us that weekend,
that's
whatever.
What they do. And I went to one of the events, a couple of events.
They were actually pretty cool.
I never go to the picnics.
I never know anybody,
have shit to do. But I always have shit to do on them Sundays. But I generally go to the events to support.
But okay. 2 more topics with our entree. So this one is one that came up in conversation, talking to some other people who have kids around our age as well. And the topic of allowing your child to live with you beyond what is perceived as a college year. So, generally kids graduate from college about maybe 21, 22, maybe 23, give or take. But that period afterward where you're allowing your now grown young adult to actually physically live with you. Yeah. What is your thought on that? Do you think that is something that should be entertained, not entertained?
Well, let me see. With me having 2 grown kids.
I want to hear the father and mother's perspective.
Yeah, me having 2 grown kids, 22 and a 19-year-old who's close to 23. So really 23 and a 19-year-old. The 23-year-old lives on his own, has his own apartment. He's been living on his own for 2-3 years now. And there's no plan of him coming back. Because once you get to living on your own, it's addictive. It's like anything else. It's like sex. And so you want to have it. You can't, unless something happens financially, that's the only way you will go back to that. And so the reason why I'm getting that is that I expected that of him, and I still values and train him so he would be ready for that. And I think, and I'm not trying to put any shade on people or anything like that, but I don't know how in the hell they do it with grown people in their house past the age of 22, 23. I think that we need to be creating a way as parents for them to get out and learn on their own. They're going to be speed bumps in the road. They're going to scrape their knee, hit their head. But that's part of the learning process. We all went through that shit. But I don't know how in the hell that the people got grown ass kids past the age of 23 and shit living in their house past the empty nest years, because I want to see some ass walking around here. I want to see some titties cooking some motherfucking breakfast like I'm in Baby Boy and shit. I may want to get my Ving Roms on. You know what I'm saying to this motherfucker? I can't do that if a motherfucker upstairs got they Beats by Dre, got they speaker and shit upstairs and talking about, yeah, what you cooking tonight? Nigga, I can't even ask what you cooking tonight. The fuck, yo? Get the fuck out of here. So I think by 27 you should have figured it out. So get the fuck out at 23 and go figure it out. You'll be alright. Mama and daddy, they gonna be alright. If you train them, they gonna be alright. Like, so you gonna have a 30-year-old nigga living in your crib. That shit weird, bro. That shit weird. And so if you are old nigga, man or woman, say you 27, 28, you bringing a bitch to live in your crib? You bringing a nigga to live? You like, who do that? My bad. Who do that? Calm down. Who do that? Like, for real, who? Like, think about that. You as a 27, you trying to bring a piece through in your mama crib. You come in the bedroom that you was in. You still got the Spider-Man.
Well, I would hope if you living at home past that age that you still don't have Spider-Man in your room.
That room probably stank like a motherfucker. I
hope that you wouldn't still have this. Now, granted, I haven't taken down posters in your room.
See, I'm biased. I'm biased because I left home at 14.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up.
I was out there, so I'm biased. I was getting it on my own since I was 14. I'm glad you brought that up. So I've been getting it on my. When I went off to college at 18, I never came back. I knew I wasn't coming back. Fuck that shit. I wasn't going back to that shit.
So I say this from a mother's point of view. I get why there are some households that still have grown kids in their homes. I get why. I do. I get why. Because for some parents, they look at it as the amount of energy that they're going to put in trying to help them kids get where they need to be as far as helping them with just maybe things like maybe rent or just, it may just be easier. And don't look at me because I ain't the one who feel this way, but I do think it's parents out here who feel like it's
that nigga better go get a job and eat.
I feel like it's some parents who think it's easier for them to just stay living with them than to actually have them go out
to this nigga 30. So what if this nigga take this nigga till he 30? Because by 27, I have a theory. By 27, you should have figured out.
I think so too, but I mean, I look at this. Okay, so I look at it like when I look at some elderly people. Some elderly people have their grown kids still living in the home. I know this from just dealing with people in my own family that you have adult children that live at home.
But generally, they move the elderly person into their home as a caretaker type of thing. That's a whole different thing. Yeah. You can't compare that. Yeah, you got to compare apples to apples.
Okay, but that is kind of apples and oranges. So
you can't do that.
I would say this. Me personally, and I think, and this is going to come from a biased point too, because when I left in 96, when I graduated and I left in 96, I said I wasn't coming back living on 74 in King Drive. I said it. Like, I literally said it, like, I will never be living back in this house unless I am flat on my face. And even if I'm flat on my face, I'm going to go stay with my girl, my best girl. You know, I'm going to stay everywhere else but my parents' house because I would not want to walk back with my tail between my legs to go back to my room. To go from me having my own to just going back now to
So I got a question. Do you think there's a difference between if it was a male or female kid? Because what I see is I see more women doing their thing than the guys. And this is the reason why. It all has to do with kids. Generally, the woman figures the shit out and does what she has to do. And she moves and gets whatever the fuck she's got to do, she does it.
But I think that also goes
whereas the niggas, and it's because of the way we do our kids. And I've always said that. So I always said that we raise our women, but we love our young boys. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is we love our young girls, but we're raising them at 8, 9 years old to take care of the house and be independent. Whereas the boys, we're loving them and protecting them. True. We're not really, and a lot of them are being raised in too many single female-headed households. True. We don't want to talk about that. But there are more black families that are married than single female-headed. So I don't want to put a stereotype out there, but there is a significant amount. And I think that's what it is. So we got to raise our young men to be independent, just like we do our young women. That's it. That's the only difference we got to do. Yeah. And so that's things like making that nigga do certain things, making that nigga know how to cook, making that nigga know how to shop, making that nigga know how to clean and do certain things by himself so he can go out there and do those things. And he don't need to get a woman just to live with him to do it. Because a girl can go out there and do the shit on her own.
I think it's still the same if it's a girl sitting at home not working not living by herself. I think it's still the same whether it's a girl or a boy as far as you allowing your grown kids to live with you. But then I also say this, and this is no slight to nobody, but I also think that you know your child. I think people know, what your child is capable of. And some people know that they have kids that may never be in a position where they'll be able to just really go out there and thrive or survive for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think you that's how you treat them. That's how you end up doing it.
I know. I do have a lot of friends that disagree with me on this because they have their grown kids living with them, and but that's their business. But me personally, get out there and sink or swim or throw your ass in a pool when you better swim.
Well, not even that, because I just think that if they did it, they would actually like it, and it would inspire them to want to continue. And just the level of freedom, and it's not even about proving a point. I think it's the level of freedom.
They don't know.
When I moved into my apartment, and then my last apartment that I lived in, and then when I moved in with him, it was the freedom. The freedom of just having my own, and I cannot let nobody in who I want. I could do whatever I want because I had that freedom of doing that. So, okay. Last thing. This is something that I have just noticed that has just, and maybe it's just me because maybe I'm opening up my sexual lenses a little bit more now. But Black Twitter porn, that is something that I never knew existed. But now that I know it existed, it is like mind-blowing. Because the level of links and videos that people throw out there for you to click on, and literally you will click on this link and you will see like straight porn right there in that link. Please explain this, and why is it so, like, what is
it's just funny to me that you're just so naive.
It's not even about being naive. I never really dealt with Twitter.
Let's start with, I'm going to get it real quick. Let's start with why the internet was invented to pass fucking porn.
We know that.
So let's fucking start with that.
And I agree
so
with
you
that.
think outside of TikTok, Twitter is probably one of the largest active platforms. And this is the other thing about that's different from all the other platforms, is that Black people fucking run Twitter. So with that comes a motherfucking a clear example of explicit sexuality, and that's what's going on. And Black people expressing themselves, and so you have this whole community of folks that's doing what. And what's amazing about it is that these are not like active; these are just all regular fucking people.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty. That's the thing about it. And it's any fucking genre, anything you into or could think of, it's fucking out there.
Is he an expert?
Yeah, I am. You know, I
an expert.
I am. Nigga, I done seen all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, in the comments, just asking what's the best genre to watch.
Shit, whatever I like. Black women. You know, anything with black women, big asses. You know what I'm saying?
So no, what I'm saying is that you post shit like that on Facebook, you getting shut down. You post shit like that on Instagram, you're getting shut down.
The thing.
TikTok, you're getting shut down.
And that's the freedom of Twitter, is that you can generally post just about any fucking thing. And so that's the reason why it's just
that's why I say it's because you write. What did I write? I wrote some comment. I said,
sex, drugs,
white people
roll,
don't
baby.
like us or something. And I was in Facebook jail for like 2 weeks. And I'm just like, you see this shit on Twitter and it goes crazy. Like the shit that you see. I'm just
But like I said, Twitter, their community standards and posting standards are much lower than certain sites. So like on Instagram, you can't post anything related to smoking or alcohol. That's why you don't see alcohol or cigar ads on Instagram. That's the reason why we don't have a strong presence on Instagram, is because they severely restrict posting of business ads related to that. So all these sites have different rules and regulations. Like TikTok is like the fucking Wild Wild West. Twitter is like the fucking Wild Wild West. You can post anything. Like that's the reason why certain people are so big on Twitter. But black people run Twitter. Okay. Check out the Hulu documentary about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I just know that again, me opening up my lenses lately, and it's just like I'm like, damn, it's this whole thing of fucking black Twitter porn.
Yeah,
like,
check it out, and it's whatever. I don't know what sites to look at because there's so many. It don't make no motherfucking sense.
Okay, so last part of this entree is our dessert, and we do fair or foul. We always do fair or foul, but this time we're gonna do Olympic style since the Olympics been on and they got a few more days of competition. Excuse me. Let's just do this. So if you like it, fair. If you don't, foul. The Olympics being held in Paris. Fair or foul?
Shit, I guess fair. I don't know much about Paris. I feel that they gotta,
could they have done it somewhere else?
Move that shit around. I don't even know what other sites was under consideration. Google Olympic 2024 sites so we can see. But it looked like it was cool. I mean, you got the Eiffel Tower. You got a significant cultural history. They have a great food history. So I figure, in this part of old Europe, and it's accessible from all different parts of Europe. So I could see they probably got the infrastructure. No, you have to put the locations. Yeah.
Come he always got to give somebody direction.
I'm just telling you what to put in.
You gotta give people directions. Okay.
Your fingers was moving too slow.
Okay. So, well, I think it's cool that they did it in Paris.
You don't got the sites?
I'm just being honest.
Just
I don't know.
Type in Olympic host sites.
I put that in there, sir. You watch me.
No, you don't have that. You have to put Olympic host sites.
I put that in there. Well, I think it's dope because I've never been. We're not gonna spend all that time on this.
But you want to brought this up.
Like I said, I think it's dope. I've never been to Paris. I've always wanted to go to Paris, so I think it's dope. I think it's good to show a lot of people different cultures. So I just want to know, how did they?
So why they never had it in Africa?
I don't know. Have they had it in Africa?
No, they've never had it in Africa.
Okay, well, maybe,
I don't even have to look at the sites to know that shit.
Maybe that's someplace that they should have it is in Africa.
They're having it in LA again in 2028.
That's what I heard. I wouldn't mind going there for 2028. But okay, so okay, moving along. Mr. Lyles with his nails painted, fair or foul?
I think it's foul.
Why you say foul?
I think the only thing,
even if it was just a pinky,
I'm not. People can do whatever they want and how they express themselves, but I think it's foul. I think only thing men should have is clear nail polish. If they do that, I believe men should groom their hands because I'm into the cigar lifestyle, and grooming is part of it. But pink, I mean, some shit you just leave to the ladies, bro. Let the ladies do that. Niggas dancing in sexy red.
Even
and twerking.
If it had a symbolic meaning by maybe a deceased relative meaning? That was their favorite color, and they used to always have a pinky paint or something. Or
wear that in the socks you running in the shoes. There's a lot of way to commemorate it.
People say that's homophobic.
How the fuck is that I didn't say nothing about the nigga's sexuality. You just assumed that the nigga was gay. I never said that he was gay. You said that. So is he gay?
I don't know.
So you make an assumption that he gay because he painted his fingernails.
No, you being incorrect assumption.
You being biased. I didn't say nothing. I just said it was foul.
Well, I think if that's what you want to do, that's how you want to express yourself.
That shit's foul. That shit's sassy. Niggas twerking in sexy red, painting their fingernails.
Zesty, whatever.
Zesty,
do what you want to do. If you want to paint your pinkies red, paint your pinkies red.
Say what it is.
Okay, this is something that I thought was foul, but, black women dogging Simone Biles about her hair, and not even black women, it was just women in general that was just going in with Simone Biles and her hair. Fair or foul? What was your thoughts on that?
Well, it was more so the last Olympics. It was definitely foul.
Okay.
Especially coming from other black women. The girl's fucking sweating, bro, in a fucking athletic competition. You think, and then the type of shit they doing, this is for motherfuckers that ain't never done shit. She can't wear them dumbass wigs while she fucking flipping 1,000 fucking feet in the air and jumping. You dumb motherfuckers.
Well, they got wigs.
So she's. Y'all just only a dumb, like I said, only a ghetto boy would even try to argue that stupid shit with you. It don't even make sense, bro. It don't make sense, bro. You can't wear that stupid shit. The WNBA is the only sport where you can get away with wearing fucking wigs. You can't wear that shit while you know gymnastics. So she wearing her natural hair, bro.
Hey, track and field girls be wearing wigs.
Once they running for fucking 10 seconds.
It don't matter.
The fuck out of here, bro.
I think it was foul. It was foul.
It was foul. They talk about that girl here.
Yeah. Like, out of all the stuff to pick on, like, she did great. She did great.
But she go to the bank and look, and she can buy all the hair she want. You dumb motherfucker.
That is true.
Only broke niggas do that.
That is true. But that was just crazy, though, that was the focus. What about Snoop Dogg? Seeming like he's like a motherfucking Olympic ambassador. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta love it. I ain't gonna lie.
I think it's cool. It's funny, though. I'm just amazed at the transformation.
Did he steal his soul?
I'm not getting to all that Illuminati and all that old fucking shit. Blood sacrifices. All that shit. But I think it's amazing that a guy who was on trial for murder in the mid 90s has now 30 years later has transformed himself into this global fucking icon.
Yeah.
And I thought the nigga was just carrying the torch. I didn't know the nigga was basically be the U.S. Olympic fucking spokesman.
Racing.
He's at all the events. He does everything.
Martha Stewart.
And they say the nigga getting a $500,000 a day for all his appearances. And so that equal, I think what they say, so that's 6. Yeah. So he making like 8 to 10 million directly, not including all the other shit he got going on. Mm-hmm. So he probably done made it easily 50 million, if not more, just off of this deal. Now he's hosting The Voice, so he's definitely mainstream.
Whoever his manager is good as hell.
That's all you can do, and I ain't no hater, so I ain't no pocket watcher. Yeah. So shout out to Snoop. Yeah. You niggas better learn how to reinvent yourself. You got a real hardcore street gangbanger, crip nigga who reinvented himself, and he out here getting paid. Just like the nigga Hov. So these niggas set the blueprint, and y'all niggas need to watch that shit. That's all I got to say, and get paid and set it up for future generations. So ain't nothing but that's fair right there with that. Okay.
Last thing, fair or foul. And so in the Olympics, you have a lot of attractive males and females. And one of the things that I heard, or the rumors that I hear, is that a lot of the males and females and different things, that it be a lot of intertwining going on, relationships and different stuff like that. You think that's fair or foul in the Olympics?
Why would it be foul? That's fair. People can engage. As long as they're consenting adults, they can do what they want. I don't think there's more to say.
People may not want to see Romania hanging with Canadian folks are trying to let people may not want.
People can do whatever the fuck they want to do. What are you talking about? That's like saying a short nigga shouldn't be with a big bitch. Like, what that mean? You can do whatever you want to do. And then the thing at the Olympics is everybody that's been tested. Nobody has no diseases, no drugs. So it's whatever.
So it's just raw city.
And then most of the people are young. The oldest motherfucker there is fucking LeBron. And he's 40.
Yeah. What the Cuban wrestler do? They say he was 41 today when I watched it.
All right, 40. Like I said, 41, 40. He got to come with 41. 40. Like the oldest niggas there is 40, G. Most of the niggas there is only like 18 to 22.
Yeah, so you going 16 days.
So, like, and these is top-notch athletes with the best bodies. So, days. Yeah. So when your time is over with, you compete on day 3, you got fucking 13 more days left. Like, shit, what up?
I know you would be a hot mess.
Shit, man.
If you was in your 20s.
If I was there, I'm hollering at the motherfucking Jamaicans. Yeah. I'm hollering at the Trinidadians. I'm hollering at the
Brazilians.
Definitely the Brazilians. I'm definitely on the Brazilians. I'm gonna hit a couple of them island motherfuckers I ain't ever been to. Man, shit. Nigga, I would be off the chain in that motherfucker.
Well, good thing you ain't in your 20s in the Olympics, so.
I'll be off the motherfucking chain if I was over there. And I want to be glad. Even if my motherfucker nigga was over, one of my homies competing, I'm going over to kick it with him. I just get the residual pussy. Well, that bitch, she finished in 4th. She didn't finish in the goal. Well, I take her. I take the 4th and 5th
You ain't
place.
getting no medalist no way.
Nah, she don't know me. She ain't get some of this pimping in your ear. I'm trying to tell you.
This dude swear he a pimp in another
Shit,
life.
I'm trying to tell you.
Man, he swear he is like Pimp Slim
telling
More
you.
in another
Put me in a
life.
room with Michelle Obama. She go.
He swear to God he could pull Michelle Obama.
I know I can pull
anybody
Michelle
who know
Obama.
Michelle Obama properly, tell her that D.O.C. say
And she
he can pull her.
I know I can pull her.
Anyway, with that being said, thank you for participating in my Olympic style fear or foul. Even with that last question, because you had that look on your face, like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So thank you.
Because I don't really give a fuck about people's sex
habits. I don't give a fuck about nothing. But thank you for going off the grid with me with this episode and just kind of going how we go. So with that being said, go out and subscribe to our channel. We are over 100 subscribers now, so let's keep the
That's just
moving.
on YouTube. We're on all platforms.
Yes, we
Spotify,
yes, we
Google,
yes,
Amazon, Apple. So we're on all the platforms. So we're just telling you to hit the subscribe on the YouTube.
Yes.
So do that.
Yes.
And put in the comments. We check all of the different platforms from TikTok to Instagram. So we monitor all of that. And we appreciate all the love and support that we've got. So we love you folks out there.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. Mr. Peace. Peace.